So first, I wanted to ask you about your new role. What's been the most exciting part about coming in and being on top of all the animated projects now?
Well, I think the most exciting thing about working again with Disney Animation, and Walt Disney Imagineering, is just working with the artists. There's such incredible talent at Disney, at the studio, in the animators, the story artists, the directors, it's really exciting to work with them. First of all, I'm a big animation fan. I've always loved animation. It's the only thing I've ever wanted to do. From the moment I realized that you can actually get paid to make cartoons, I was like, sign me up. That's the only thing I've ever wanted to do. And so it's so exciting to be working with Disney again. And for me, it's also being the heritage of the Disney studio, the work that Walt Disney did, how he entertained me when I was young with his films.
Disney has such a legacy, and with,
Mm-hmm.
with everything involved in it. How
Yeah.
how is that for you? How do you try to hope to uphold that legacy?
Well, the number one thing for me, and it's what we've been doing for 20 years now at Pixar, entertain audiences. It's as simple as that. We make the movies we like to watch. We're reasonably intelligent adults who love to see movies, right? And to me, I just wanted to take me away, entertain me, make me cry, make me laugh, but entertain me. And I love to bring my family to my kids to there. So that's the kind of movies we like to watch, and we like to make is the kind that we like to watch, and that's the most important thing. And that's now with the heritage of being a part of Disney and kind of being connected with that legacy. That's really the number one thing is to make these films so entertaining for adults
Yeah.
and teenagers and young adults who don't have kids, as well as families.
Yeah.
And that's why Pixar films always work on those levels. And I love to watch an audience watch our movies, and then you see when the adults are laughing at something, and then the kids laugh at something else, and I just love that.
Do you have one of the traditional Disney films that you remember that really kind of stands out in your mind as one of your favorites?
We have about an hour and a half for this interview,
Yeah.
right? Because I
Yeah.
could talk about this forever. My favorite movie of all time, animated live action, doesn't matter, is Dumbo.
Really?
I love Dumbo. Dumbo is so special. It's so entertaining to me. But it has, first of all, it was one of the most cartoony of all the Disney features. A lot of the guys that animated on the shorts, the cartoons, kind of worked on Dumbo. It's very short. It's just over an hour long, and the main character doesn't talk,
Yeah.
right? And so, from a storytelling standpoint, I've analyzed every aspect of this film, and it's a brilliant motion picture, storytelling-wise. Just when the main character needs to talk, Timothy the mouse comes in, the little circus mouse, and that's his voice, right? But especially now that I'm a parent, there's a scene where Dumbo, who's been completely been made fun of as a clown and been made a fool, is crying and is sad, and so he's taken to go see his mother, who is locked up in prison because she was just trying to protect him, and they can't see each other, but they can touch with just the tips of their trunks, and this beautiful song called "Baby Mine" is sung, and I just bawl because I'm like now a parent looking at this, and it's just so special.
Yeah.
Another great one is Bambi, which was made right around the same time, but it's one of the most artistically beautiful films ever made.
Yeah. So how is Pixar's kind of modern ability kind of blend in with Disney's kind of traditional? How do you see the two of them merging?
I think actually the Pixar sensibility, the way we make films and the why we make films is very much in the classic Disney tradition. The only thing that's different is our tools. You know, we use computer animation. Disney used cell animation, hand-drawn animation. But the whole philosophy is the same, and that is you want to make a film that's got a great story, you know, that keeps people on the edge of their seat. They're waiting to see what happens next. Populate that story with truly memorable characters that are really appealing, that the audience likes to be with, that finds entertaining. Put that story and those characters in a really believable world. Not a realistic world, but believable, you know? And it's kind of one of those things that you just, when the lights dim, you get into the story, you don't think about anything. You're just there.
Right.
You're in the story. It's believable. And I think that's what we strive to do at Pixar. And that's what Walt Disney always did. And that's what we're doing again at Disney Animation.
Yeah.
And it's part of the entertainment, you know.
Right. What about the future with, you guys brought in CGI. Where do you see, like, what's the next transition with the, you know, technical advances that we're coming up now?
One of the exciting things at Pixar is a studio of pioneers. Pixar invented much of computer animation. Mm-hmm. So a lot of our software is used by, you know, almost any studio or special effects house that uses computer animation. And so we love the tech. We're geeks. We love the technology, and it always inspires us. At Pixar, the foundation of Pixar is a simple statement that the art challenges technology, and technology inspires the art. It's this kind of wonderful yin-yang, because you see something, you know, in the technology, it gives you an idea, and then you say, but yeah, can you do this? And it's this wonderful circle. And so what we do is we match the subject matter of our films at Pixar to what the medium can do at a certain place in time. But the exciting thing is our tool is the computer. And as everyone knows, the computer doesn't stop getting faster, doesn't stop getting more memory, right? Yeah. I mean, it's like, you know, in your cell phone, you have more compute power than probably, you know, we had making Toy Story now, you know, 10 years ago. It's amazing. And so that is our tool. And that means that in the future we'll be able to do far more than we can. Now, the more organic something is, the harder it is to do with a computer. A human being, for instance, represents everything that's difficult to do with a computer. You know, nothing is geometric on us, right? And the way the clothing drapes on us, and you can, you know, when you just watch someone walk by, you could tell if they're wearing a silk shirt versus a heavy wool shirt, right? It's just the way it looks. You know, brand new denim jeans versus old worn out ones. You can see that. Well, all that is so hard to achieve, you know. Animals, fur, you know, things like that have been very hard in the past. And so what we're looking at in the future is being able to do, for instance, our next movie we're doing after Cars is called Ratatouille. It's about a rat that wants to be a fine chef in Paris, France. And it's great. And so the challenge is there, because all of the technical advances typically come from the needs the story has that we don't know how to do. And in this case, we wanted to take a rat, a little rodent, and when you see them, you see like someone's pet mouse or something like that, how cute they are. They ball up and they stretch out. There's a principle of animation that's been around forever called squash and stretch, where it maintains the same volume and with a little fur on it and stuff. And we've never been able to do that well in computer animation, truly, like you can in hand-drawn animation. And that's something we set out to solve for Ratatouille, and we have, and it looks amazing. Also, in Ratatouille, the thing that we didn't expect was going to be so hard is food.
Really?
In computer animation, and make it look delicious, right? I mean, you sit there and you look at the complexity of how food looks is staggering. You know, with the sauces that are somewhat transparent, you can kind of tell where the olive oil is, and the you know, just sprinkled with powdered sugar, a dessert or something like that. The way that light and color and everything, you know, is affected differently with, you know, the different types of food. It was like, well, hello, this is really complex, you know.
What's extra on the DVD for Cars?
we at Pixar, we love when our movies come out on DVD because we love the extras. You know, in the same way we make a movie for the kind of movie we like to watch, we love to pack as much fun stuff in our DVDs. One of the things that we love to do is we fall in love with the characters that we create in the world. And so we always like to revisit them, you know. And in Cars, the character that we fell in love with so much was Mater the rusty tow truck.
Oh, yeah.
And we thought, oh, wouldn't it be fun to do a little cartoon with him, you know? And so we have Mater in the Ghost Light. It's this really funny kind of ghost story where he gets so scared, you know, and it's really funny. So that's a new piece of animation, you know, that we made just for the DVD. We also have this wonderful, you know, we always will include like a making of documentary so people can see how a movie's made. This time, the inspiration, the research we did for the film that inspired the film is so interesting. And we met so many interesting people on Route 66 and in kind of the racing world and the car world. And it was so neat. So we put together a little documentary about the inspiration, and you get to meet a lot of there's actually a real guy named Mater.
Really?
Yeah, in Charlotte, North Carolina, that we met. And so you get to meet him, and you get to meet a lot of the people along Route 66 that were big inspirations for the film.